Welcome to the Mystery Mouse podcast. My name is Holly. I'm coming to you from Colorado, where I live with my husband and our 5 kids and our many pets. And today is Saturday, December 30th. So I really wanted to get another podcast in before the end of the year, just to kind of talk about Christmas and wrap the year up nicely before we get into 2024. So I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, and I had kind of a crazy month, and I'm still kind of coming down, I think, from all of the things that I was doing in the last few months. I just feel like I'm having a big crash, kind of a reset time. So in a way, that's good because I have stuff to do in January, which I will talk about later. But I'm kind of hoping I can get through all the stuff I have to talk to you about. I have a lot. So first of all, if you will recall, long ago when I had my last episode, I was telling you about my plans for gift knitting for Christmas. And so I have a few things to show you. Okay, I had planned to make something for my husband, each one of my kids, my mom. I think that was it. Well, the only thing I actually finished on time was a pair of last-minute convertible mitts for my mother-in-law, which were not planned. But it just feels ridiculous because I had all these things that were almost done. And I still did not finish them on time. I didn't finish any of them on time. I was a little discouraged about it, but I also knew that it really didn't matter, and I have since finished a couple things. So I don't have a picture of the convertible mitts. I will link the pattern I used. It was a really good, very basic mitten pattern with a convertible top and thumb. She wanted a convertible thumb also, so we had to send those presents off to my parents-in-law in North Carolina. So I did finish those up in a few days. Maybe I just needed a really hard deadline. You would think Christmas would be a hard deadline, but anyway, since Christmas has passed, I finished Teddy's vest. It was so funny because he really wanted to wear this on Christmas Eve. We had our candlelight service and we were singing a special, and he really wanted to wear it. And I was like, I think I can get it done. I finished one armband one night. The next, like at night, I cast on the next one, Anyway, Christmas Eve, like an hour before the thing, I'm working on the neckband, still like delusionally thinking I can finish this vest because I hadn't even sewn up the sides. It was ridiculous. But now it's done, and now it's done, and I think it turned out really well. He has tried it on. I'll try to put a picture of him wearing it over here. It looks so good on him. It's the perfect color. And he says he will wear it on Sunday. So this was a pattern from a magazine. Did I bring the magazine down? I don't think I did. But you can watch my last episode and I talk all about this. So I am so happy to have this done. And it was really an enjoyable knit and didn't take too long. And I was glad that there were no sleeves. Next thing I finished, did I finish anything else? Okay, well, first of all, in this bag by Susan of Delightful Works, this is what I was housing Teddy's vest in for the last month or so. I have this bear, which is for Grady. Now, Grady has taken this bear and played with it, and I still have not made the hat. And I think he's a little fat because he's busting out of his clothes a little bit. I haven't put a button on the sweater yet, and I need to remake the hat. I'm pretty sure one of these legs for the pants are a little longer than the other. I don't know, maybe not. It's just, they don't seem even. But anyway, this is the A Good Bear by Susan, oh, not Susan, by Susan B. Anderson. And he is so cute. He has his little coat and you can take it off, and he's wearing his sweater. And I made his ears. I did not make his tail. It just seemed sort of pointless because he's wearing pants, but maybe I eventually will make him a tail. But I will make his hat again because I've got plenty of yarn left, and I need to embroider his nose. He doesn't have a nose. So anyway, this was a present for Grady. I did not get him done either because, see, I had him all done except for, well, I didn't have the pants done, and I didn't have his arms done or his ears done. So, you know, right up until Christmas Eve, I thought, well, I just got to knit those arms real quick. I just got to knit those ears real quick. They'll take 2 seconds. I don't think I have a good grip on how long things take. I really don't, because sometimes I'm just very optimistic, and I think sometimes I'm a little, I don't know, if I don't want to do something, I think, oh, that's going to take forever. And of course, you can get anything done if you just work on it, but it does take time. So I will still make him the hat and embroider his nose, but and try to keep him from busting out of his clothes. But he's so cute. And it's so funny because I'm like, whew, I'm so glad he's done. I want to make another one. I want to make a little polar bear version. I think that would be so cute, like a girl polar bear with a skirt and like a pink sweater. So anyway, that's a good bear. And what else do I have in here? I need to clean this bag out because this is just leftover stuff. So see, I've got all this. This is the gray bear yarn. I have quite a bit left. And I thought, okay, is this just the fingering weight? Because you knit it with size like 5. I think the bear is knitted with size 4 needles. And I got the Susan B. Anderson Good Tidings box, the Christmas box, and it's got a bunch of her yarn in it, and I'm not sure if it's the same exact kind, because if it is, there's some white in there and I could make a polar bear. So I'm thinking about that. This is the yarn I used to knit Teddy's vest, Swish Decay, in the Delft Heather color. So it was so fun because Susan very sweetly sent me this little bag, and I just think it's like the little brother of this bag. So cute. I love it that they both have the sparkle. I just love those sparkle fabrics. But so in this bag, I have David's socks that I was supposed to put in his stocking. So this is what I put in his stocking. 1 tube sock with ends. I still have to put in the heel. I did cast on the other toe. I spent an entire night, one night before Christmas, picking out almost this entire toe of the second sock because I had more stitches on the back half than the front half. So I had like messed up my decreases. So I had to like pick it back to the beginning of the decreases. I was very discouraged because it took so long and I was really tired. So I haven't even cut this one yet. It's still a super long tube. I bought this tube from Sun Valley Fibers. I think they do a lot of sock tubes and they're like patterned. So I don't know. I don't think they're dyeing this yarn. This feels kind of like a rustic, like an opal or something like that, but Sun Valley Fibers is where I got it. So once I do the green toe and the blue cuff, which I'm not sure if I'm very happy with because I did like a stretchy bind off and it's very wobbly looking to me, but it's got to go on his leg, you know? So I'm going to do a red heel, which I think will look really nice. So I still have to work. I have not touched those since, you know, Christmas Eve or something, but they're living in this bag. So that's that. Okay, I did not even touch the things I said I was going to try to do for Toby or Mary. I was going to do Toby's, the picture on Toby's night sweater. I did get a pixelated image that I'm going to use, but that's as far as I've gotten with that. And I have to do the ruffle on Mary's shawl. Now, if I was thinking clearly, I should have done the ruffled edge anyway, like after Christmas, because her birthday is tomorrow. I could have given it for her birthday, but I didn't even think about it. Poor people with December birthdays, they have it a little rough. But I started something new for Ivy, and I thought, oh, I'll just whip this up. It'll be super quick because I have no concept of how long things take. So I started a hat for her. Now, this is kind of a weird hat. Okay, I don't even know which is the right side. I put that this is the right side, but I don't think it is. I don't know. Look at this stitch marker. My friend Elizabeth made for me. It's so cute. But it's like a, let me show you. So the pattern for this I got out of this Knit Simple magazine from 2012. This is their holiday gift issue from 2012. And as you can see, it's very well loved. This is my favorite gift knitting magazine of all time. I really love it because they have everything broken down like for different people. So like they have for mom, for dad, and like, you know, not every pattern is a winner, but there's something that I would love to knit on it like every spread. So it was a good one. So this is called the Tassel Hat by Christina Benke. And that's the picture of it. This is in the For the Teenager section. For the Teenager. So this is knit in, it's supposed to be in Blue Sky Alpacas worsted hand dyes. And so it's worsted, but it's knit with like a size 9 needle. So it's kind of a fat worsted. And you knit it from behind the brim. You knit the back part and then you pick up the brim and knit the brim. So I did not gauge or swatch or anything. Who has time to do that? But I just cast on, and I am holding 3 fingering weight mini skeins together. So these are just fingering weight mini skeins. I'm using the needles suggested in the pattern. I love the fabric that it makes. It's super squishy, but also like I love the variation in the colors. It's very nice. So I wanted to do like a hot pink, a purple, and a teal or aqua. So this is how it's looking. This is the back where the back tassel goes. And so then I need to pick up from here and knit the brim. And I don't know if I'm going to do it as deep as the brim they have on the sample. I think since Christmas is over, I told her about it, and so she's going to try it on and see. And I have these 2 tassels. Where's the other one? I'm always dropping things over here. Anyway, I have 2 tassels I just made with a lot of these neon colored yarns that I'm going to use for the tassels on here. So I think that is going to be so cute. So that's been really fun to work on. It's been kind of nice to have a little more of a, well, it's not really instant gratification, but like I know I'm going to get it done soon. So that's good. Although I had not worked on this in a little while. I haven't worked on it since I got this back cast off, because now I got to think again. It's always the problem. So let's see. Teddy, Toby, Ivy, Mary, Grady, David. Oh, my mom. Okay, so I was doing a cross stitch for my mom. I think I showed you guys this a long time ago that I wanted to do it. And I was trying to kind of document my progress, which I'm really bad at. But finally, you know, when it got to be a little too late to actually finish, I was like, I'm going to do this now. And I started working on it. And I spent quite a few evenings just doing this. I need to tighten it up. You know how they always get loose in the frame. But I spent quite a few evenings just doing this, and it was, I don't know, a nice change. I had a very stressful December, to be honest. And I don't really know why it wasn't that different than many Decembers that I have had, but I don't know, I just didn't take it as well this year for some reason. And So it was really nice just to have something different to do and something that was very simple and repetitive. So here is my mom's cross stitch. Last time I showed you, I think I just had this little sleigh and maybe some of the trees and the very beginning of the house. So I've finished quite a bit of the house and some of the background. I am playing a little bit fast and loose with the half cross stitch and whole cross stitch, because some of the house was supposed to be half cross stitch. The way I like to do things, just because I just want to do things my own way all the time, I don't know, is anything that's not in the background, I really don't like to do half cross stitch. For some of this, like the light that's spilling out onto the snow and stuff, I don't mind that, but I really like to do the background in half cross stitch so it looks more blurred. But I love having this purple in here. I really think that other dimension of color really brings it to life. So another thing about this cross stitch though is that there's no, since you're doing it in white fabric, they don't have you put anything in for the white areas, which is kind of nice. But I think I'm gonna get some white thread, maybe even some like shiny white, I'm not sure, and do at least some of the roof, because I don't know, I think it'd be nice not to see the squares so well. So I did wrap this up and give this to my mom and said, this is not done, I'm gonna need it back. But I gave it to her because I had like a little set, like I was calling it the sleigh ride set. And so I gave her this and a little cup. It was like a kind of like a fancy mug, you know, a cross between a teacup and a mug, that had like a Currier and Ives sleigh ride picture on it. And then what was the other thing? Oh, then there was a book by Grace Livingston Hill, who is a very old-fashioned like inspirational fiction author. It was like a little picture book with a Christmas story in it, and I had this kind of picture on the front, and then I gave her a pair of fuzzy socks. So I just put that in there with all that stuff and said, I'm gonna need this back. But I'm hoping, you know, maybe I could actually finish the entire thing, because I was thinking about just not finishing like some of the stuff on the edges. There's a bridge down here, which I did start, and there's a giant tree over here, so that's more in like the front, framing the picture a little bit. And of course there's lots more stuff all around really, but I think maybe I'll just keep working on it and I can give it to her next year. And she'll be like, oh, Holly, you got it done. So that was all of my attempts and failures at Christmas gift knitting. But, and it's not really like I was stressed out about those things particularly, but I'm kind of glad that the deadline is passed and I can just kind of finish this stuff up as I can. So I would like to talk to you about, let's see, what else am I working on? Do I have any more whips? Yes, I was waiting till I was done with all my gift knitting, which never happened, to cast on something for myself as like a Christmas cast on. This is in my my little bunny bag from Sandy by the Lakeside, which I got a couple years ago for Christmas. I am knitting myself a pair of mittens because, okay, you guys remember how I have started a whole bunch of mittens and I have one mitten for like at least four sets of mittens. It's ridiculous. So there's kind of like this mitten curse that I am living under. Well, when I had to knit that pair of mittens for my mother-in-law, I think it broke the mitten curse. I'm hoping, because they were extra work mittens. I mean, they were just plain knitting, but then you had to like stop and do some stuff for the convertible part. You know, you had to like bind off and cast on again, and you know, it was just, they were a little more complicated than regular mittens, but they were DK weight. So I kept thinking the entire time I was knitting them, I'm like, you know, regular mittens would be so much easier. Like, they would go so fast. So, and I had this set from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts that I wanted to use. This is her Flower of the Month mini skein set from May. It's Lily of the Valley and Hawthorn Berry. And I bought this back in May, I think, because it was red and green. And oh, I could not get it. So I have finished one mitten. Don't they look good? They're so cute. And one of the main reasons I wanted to make myself a pair of mittens is because I've been taking Watson on a walk every day, and it's starting to get really cold, and I have to put my hands in my pockets, and I have to hold the leash, and it's awkward. And so it'd be nice if I had a pair of mittens. So you can see here's the jog. I did not do anything for the jog. I didn't even think about it. Here I'm striping. And there were 6 mini skeins, and I'm using this really dark one for the cuff. And then there was actually, so then there's this other green one, which I'm using this green stripe. And there was one more green one, which I think is in between this really dark one and this one. It's just in between. So probably if you knit them in a row, they would be a really nice gradient. But I am just using those 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 colors. And I love how the red is like, I don't know, it's so poppy. So it's so nice that there's 3 and then right on the tip of the thumb. Anyway, so it's just a very basic mitten, and I cast on the second one. So we'll see. I'll report back and tell you if my mitten curse is really broken or if it was a false alarm and I'm still living under the curse of only one mitten. I have on here my little progress keeper I got from Random Fandom bags on Etsy. I will link them below. It's from, it's the gooseberry from Strawberry Shortcake. I got this because I wanted to participate in some strawberry shortcake type mals over the summer, but I never did. So I thought she's the perfect colors for this mitten. So she is keeping me company on there. So besides my gift knitting, which I'm still working on, that is my only current whip. Yes, so Ivy's hat. I need to do the next thing. Oh, I can't even, oh, and David's sock, which I have not been working on. I gotta do that. So now let's talk about, Christmas presents, shall we? So first of all, Yarny Christmas present. I asked for this for Christmas, also from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. This is her October Marigold Flower of the Month Club mini skein set. So October is my birthday month, and my grandpap, who I've talked about before, he was a pilot in World War II. He always planted marigolds outside his house, and so marigolds always remind me of him. And I just thought, oh, it's such a nice combination of things, my birthday and remembering my grandparents. And so my husband got me this for Christmas, and it was so cute because Lynn put a little note in. You know, it's just the thank you note that she probably puts in every package, but she was like, thank you, David, or is this really for Holly, or something like that. It was so cute. So thank you so much, Lynn. That made me smile. David thought it was funny too. Anyway, so that was my one yarn I got for Christmas. This is the only yarn I got because, let's face it, I do not need a lot of yarn. But let's see. Oh, but I did get some other knitting related items. So I got this adorable little bag from, well, it's not a little bag, it's actually a pretty good size bag. This is from my friend Elizabeth. She got this for me, and it's so cute. It has mice on it. So she just got it for me because of the mice. And I love the bottom fabric too. It's like tiny little mushrooms. So, and this is from Sassy Saxs by Yadi. Yeah, Yaddy. So I will, I'll link this shop below. I think this is also on Etsy. And it's just lined with like a tan. And inside here, I have not started working on this yet, but I am doing some kits for Cheryl of Wise Owl Knits. She is having a knit along for her wildflower tea in March, and I am doing 3 kits for her wildflower tea that will be going up for pre-order in February. So I'm so excited about that. She flashed one of, I sent her I sent her one set to make a sample, and so she did flash it a couple of her episodes back. And so we're going to have 3 sets named after some of my favorite girls' children's books. So keep your ears tuned to hear some more info about that. That will be coming out pretty soon. And but I have all 3 of the sets already dyed. So, of course, I'll take the pre-orders and dye as needed some more. So, but that was from my friend very sweetly. And she also made me, oh, where did I put that? I just have piles of stuff here. I really should like move the stuff I've already talked about. She also made me this. She also made me this adorable little zipper pouch, which I have some pens in right now, but I really should just use as a notions bag. And it says, "A friend loveth at all times." So sweet. So yeah, right now I just have some pens in here for my planner, but I will probably, oh, there's my other tassel. I will probably be making that into a notions pouch. Now something I bought for myself, which came in December, was this. You will probably recognize. This is the Knitty McPurley sock ruler. I think I pre-ordered this in October or maybe November. No, I think it was October. I have no idea. But she has just had a really hard time keeping these in stock, which is great for her. But I was really hemming and hawing about whether or not I should order it. And I thought, well, I'll just be part of her pre-order and then I'll get it because I don't need it like desperately. But one thing I really love about this is that it has this giant ruler and needle gauge in it. And this is pretty big, so it will be difficult for me to lose because I always am losing that kind of thing. I also got a very sweet little Christmas card from Emily of Woldenburn, and she sent me this ornament. It's so cute. She showed on one of her Vlogmas, she was making these on her sewing machine. And they are so cute, and I just love it that she sent me a red and green one because those are my favorite colors. So thank you, Emily. That was very sweet. And I already showed you this. Susan sent me this. So sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, I just thought this was funny. Before I talk about books, I have made all the stockings for my family. I just sewed them, and they're not fancy. They're just like a piece of fabric, and I lined them. Did I line them? Maybe not. Anyway, whatever. I made them a few years ago before Grady was born. And then when Grady was born, I was like, I gotta make another one. So I made him one. And then last year, I did not put my stocking away. I saw it at like a weird time of the year, still in my room. Because we always take our stockings, like, well, at least David and I take our stockings to our room because it's got like our candy and stuff in it. And then it takes forever for us to like unpack them because we're just, you know, not thinking about it. So I couldn't find mine when it was Christmas time. It was very annoying because I needed a stocking for David to stuff. So I was at the thrift store like 2 days before Christmas. No, it was the week before. I don't know. And I saw this. So I bought this. It was like $1. Maybe $1.50 because everything Christmassy was half off. And somebody made this, you know, somebody took time, probably in the 80s, to make this. It's still got candy. That's why it's all fat in the toe. But so this was my Christmas stocking this year. I just thought I would show you that. The thrift store can be an amazing resource. I also bought this one just because I thought it was cool. I don't know if somebody made this, but I don't see any tags in it. So it kind of looks to me like somebody made it. I just think, look at all that work. This is not, what's this called? It's needlepoint. It says needlepoint. So anyway, I think this was $1.50. So I might just use it as a decoration. I made my husband, for the first time ever, a book advent calendar. It was so much fun. My friend Elizabeth was making advent calendars for her daughter's book advent calendars. So I was like, oh, David will love that. He loves books. Now, he is not like a sit down and read a book kind of person. Well, sometimes he is. But he loves to have books for reference, and he just loves books, you know? So I wanted to make him a book advent calendar. Now, obviously, I could not buy 24 new books. That's crazy. But I did buy him 24 used books. So I will put a picture in here of his finished book advent calendar. Maybe I can get one, too, of them all wrapped. So I just stacked 2 boxes on top of each other to be like a little bookcase. And he picked one out every day, did not number them. So it was kind of random, which was fun because then I didn't know what he was getting either. So that was one booky thing. And so I also made book advent calendar. Well, I made one for Grady because that was easy, just doing used picture books. I mean, you can get children's picture books so cheap. So one of the books he got was this. I have talked about the other Mouston Abbey book, which is like the big one, and it's like the missing diamond or something like that, and it's supposed to be like a Christmas one. It's like they call it Cheesemas or something like that, and they're looking for something. Well, this one is like a board book, and it has flaps. And what's really fun, I think, is that there are flaps within some of the flaps. Let me see if I can find one. Oh yeah. So here's inside the flap, and then underneath they have something else. So they have a lot of those. There's only like, I don't know, 5 or 6 pages, but there are tons and tons of flaps on each page. So Grady loves to look through this and do all the flaps, you know. It's just so fun. So I recommend looking for this if you can. It's called The Cheesy Treasure Hunt with flaps under flaps. Over 60 flaps. I don't know who wrote this. It just says illustrations by Tim Hutchinson. But of course I love this because the mice are knitted and they're so cute. So that was in Grady's picture book advent calendar. Then I also made, I made advent calendars for the girls, and they were more random, like not all one kind of thing, but I definitely included books in there. So this book I put in Ivy's advent calendar. This is a book, I found this at the thrift store. So I have been looking for this book for literally 20 plus years because it was in my college library, and I couldn't remember what it was called, so I had a really hard time looking for it. I always thought it was called the Dusty Little Bookroom, but it turns out it was just this. And this is just, okay, this is just short stories, children's short stories, and they're kind of like fairy tales, like more modern fairy tales. So this was published originally in 1955, and the story that I remember that really, I don't know, impacted me, I guess, it's called The Little Dressmaker. And it's kind of a Cinderella story, and she goes to, there's like a royal ball or something, and she goes 3 nights in a row, and she makes herself a different dress every night, and one is like the sun, and one is like the moon, and one is like the rainbow. And I don't know what it was about it, but I never forgot that. I was in college, so I was so excited to get this, and I told Ivy I'm gonna steal this and read it. And okay, oh, and then Stephanie of Texas Peach Knits was talking about Christmas books in her last episode and asking what people's favorite Christmas books are. And I talked about Christmas books, I think, in last year's Christmas episode, but this one was a new one that I found this year. It's called The Worst Person's Christmas by James Stevenson. James Stevenson writes those really funny books about the 2 grandpas. Well, it's like the grandpa and his brother Wayne. And he tells his grandkids stories about them when they were little boys, and they still have mustaches. And they're so cute. So I think he's really a cartoonist. And he does this very sort of kind of pen and ink messy drawing style. But it's so cute. Anyway, this is just a very cute little Christmas story that I found this year. I really like it. Another thing I found at the thrift store, which I just wanted to mention, was this. I had this exact book when I was a kid. I had this very vivid memory of it being in my parents' basement. And I've been reading this to my kids. We started, well, before we let school out, and now I'll have to pick it back up. But I really like it because it's got all these little things on the side, like when they use different words and stuff, or phrases, or things that we probably, modern people don't understand. They have a little explainy part on the side, and it does say, it has this number 4 on the side, and it says Educator Classic Library. And so this is what I want to know, because I'm sure somebody out there will know. What are the other books in this series? How can I find them? Should I look up Educator Classic Library? I just wanted to know if anybody else has this set or anything like that, because I'm very interested. I am really enjoying using that for school. Okay. So I got a few books for Christmas, not a ton. This later. Maybe. Not a ton of books, but some very special books for me. Well, first of all, my husband got me a planner. I've stuck my pen in here. My husband got me a planner. I have had a very intense few months. I don't know what it is. I have just been so busy, and I have just completely stopped planning. I have just been like doing the work that's right in front of me, and I don't know what's going on. So anyway, my husband's like, we need to reset. And so he got me a planner, and he put it in my stocking, and it's really nice because he just got it at Barnes & Noble, but it's got a monthly, and it's got every day, and it's got places for top priorities, don't forget, and gratitude and notes. So it's just really a nice layout, and I'm hoping to be more organized this year. I love to do New Year's resolutions. I feel like when I look back at the resolutions I've done, especially over the last few years, I can see where I have definitely like not kept everything, but I have made some new habits and stuff like that. And I need that reset. I need it. So I'm excited about working on that. We did Secret Sisters at my church this year, and so we exchanged our final like Christmas present with them at the end of November. And so my secret sister got me this, which is really cool because I did not have this book, and I met Lisa Hennessy at the Nadie McPurley retreat at the beginning of the year. She was there obviously at the retreat, but on the way home, she was in the airport waiting for her flight, and she was just over there, and she was like, hey, come sit with us, blah blah blah, and we were talking about yarn and knitting and stuff. And so anyway, I just think that's so cool that I met her. And she has a podcast, which I will link below, called I think it's called Knit, Pray, Crochet. And so I will link that also, and the book. So this book is really nice because these are simple things, but there's some really cute little things, and some things I'm really looking forward to making. She has, I gotta show this. I was looking through this at our Secret Sister meeting. Is this tiny little tissue holder. Look at that. For those little individual tissues. I would love to make some of those. Like, I know if I made some for my mom, she would use them because she always has a little pack of tissues in her purse. But there's just a lot of really nice basics. Like, there's a little pet bandana. There's lots of little shawls and scarves. And her thing is to make stuff to give away. Like, that is what she does. And so these are great gift knits. So that was from my secret sister. And I got this knitting book. And I was just watching Emily this morning of Woldenburn, and she got this book for Christmas too. And yes, she's right. It just came out. I saw, in fact, someone sent me an Instagram a picture of Samuel Whiskers, I think it was, the rat, because of course he's a rat and I love mice, and he was so cute. And so I found an image of the book and I just sent it to my husband. I didn't even look at see what's in it because I knew I wanted it. But like, the great thing about these, and I love Peter Rabbit, when I had Teddy, my first baby, his nursery was Peter Rabbit. But then like Toby loves Redwall, and he loves the badger, so I could make him a badger, you know? I love the bunnies. I love them all. They are so cute. And I looked at this, the yarn, she does a lot of holding like a regular yarn with a mohair to give it that little fuzzy look, and it really gives it that watercolor feeling like you would have from Beatrix Potter's original art. So I wish I could do a better flip through with you. Look at Tom Kitten. So these are adorable, and I think also labor of love kind of patterns because they're very realistic animal shapes. They're not like, you know, an animal face with a long lanky body like some other ones. All right, so I had to check my battery. So the only other thing I wanted to talk about with this was this book. Toby got me this book for Christmas. He asked me what I wanted, and I told him I wanted this book. I used to have this when I was growing up. In fact, my brother and I did one of these stories as a duet acting in high school. So this is the Dribblesome Teapots and Other Incredible Stories by Norman Hunter. If you like Roald Dahl, that sort of tongue-in-cheek British humor, this is an incredible book. It's just short stories, and they're full of magic and mischief and kings and queens, and it's hilarious. I love this book. I love, love, love this book. So, and it says 10 amusing, original, and ingenious modern fairy tales by the author of the Professor Braunestraum books. So I will be looking that up too, because I would just love to see what else this guy has written. So I think that's all I have for you today. My phone battery is about to die. Thank you so much for watching, and I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you did for Christmas. If you have any resolutions for the new year or just what you're knitting. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting my shop and my channel this year. I'm really looking forward to the new year and all the things that are going to be happening. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.
To know where thy treetops listen and station, listen to hear bells in the snow.
Say Merry Christmas.
No, I can't say it.
Why not?
Because I look at the snow.
You're looking at the snow.